side. Left-handed defending the pass. They'll be going up against to solve that secondary. That will send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, first dose and two. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And the way they played last week defensively, you look at the tape, it looks like they had extra guys on the field, and they thoroughly shut down that offense.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback from the University of Georgia. It's Matthew Stafford.
Another Texas quarterback. And there's something about these guys. They take a lot of pride in competing amongst themselves about who is going to be the one who puts up big numbers, lead their team to victories. And Matthew Stafford has always put up the big numbers. Now he's looking for success in the regular season and, of course, getting to the playoffs.
Now Stafford. And his first look is incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. That'll bring up second down. Back to the air. Stafford on second down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. Again, it's Stafford. Over the middle, complete to Tate. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And that's the kind of pass that adds up over time, Brandon. You may not have picked up a first down there, but if you keep chipping away at it, eventually big plays may result.
To the air again, Stafford. Finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
It gets in space. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that was a nice play by the defense. And it is tough to be an offensive lineman nowadays, especially if you're dealing with how the defensive tackles have evolved. Their quickness, their agility, their speed has changed the big guys in the middle, the center, and the offensive guards. Formerly, they were just power players. Now they have to be light on their feet as well to keep up with the speed of the defensive players. When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 2nd down following the run.
For a guy who went to college as a quarterback, Ryan Matthews has turned into quite the power runner. If he could only stay healthy, well, his numbers would be huge, I think.
His numbers so far, 2 times over 1,000 yards with the Chargers, 5 years there now in his 2nd year with the Eagles. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the 1st quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game. Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. The veteran Brent Selleck, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He hits Randall, complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Working from the gun, Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And now for the first time, we get a look at this defense that was very stout last week.
And all they expect to do is continue what they did a week ago. Play terrific defense and not permit that offense to get started.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing is Wentz. And he's got his man. That's the veteran Selleck with the Eagle touchdown. Brent Selleck, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Caleb Sturgis now for the point after. He's got it, and the Eagles lead tip. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take...
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. A first-time Pro Bowler from 2015, Fletcher Cox, forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Curley's got it, complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. It's caught by Randall. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
It went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They come out here in the eye. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough, because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
On second down, Ryan Matthews. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Andre Roberts with a return of 102 yards. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here now, another look at the rookie Carson Wentz leading his offense back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Wentz. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have. And why?
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They go play action here on first down. Caught right side, Tate. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards on the pickup, and it'll be first down Detroit.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Here's a former 1,000-yard rusher, it's Stephen Ridley. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run at Stephen Ridley. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Now that result is no surprise. This team is bringing back memories of what? The 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. Those teams are so great against the run. They made you abandon any plans of doing that when you played against them.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Now Stafford caught on the right side by Jones. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point. So no problems converting there.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they feel really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And Salek here, left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. And they're going to speed things up here. Again, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end, Salek. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Hits his target, Reuben Randall. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does. And we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Yards to go for the offense. 1st down and goal from that 5-yard line. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And they'll go on the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a gain of 4, but it'll bring us now to a 3rd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will do it. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Lions trail at home at halftime. The Eagles have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Eagles line up at the 8. Quick pass and catch by Selleck. And he capped off the long drive with a touchdown as they put the first points on the board. Jones has got it on the teeth. He'll actually field it in the end zone, and he'll take this all the way for the touchdown. Now trailing by just 3. Now midway through the second, Ertz is going to make the catch in traffic, and this will go for a touch, pushing the lead to 10. First and 10, Wentz has got the completion from the gun, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 47-yard line.
Never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Eagles.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a... Oh, and the ball's out. Matthews loses it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Back to the ground. It's Ridley again. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make the play.
It's caught. Jones. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Ridley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Stafford now to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll run with Ridley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. Surveying the field. And that is incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Kick is on the money. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. A decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they do inch a bit closer.
Yeah, still lots of time to go in this one. Take the points, move on, and let your defense try to get the ball back.
And getting set to go again, here's the Lions defense. They recovered a fumble on their side of the field last time. Led to a field goal. We'll see if they can force another turnover now.
You got to love the way that they're playing. You go back to that last series, it's almost like baseball when a guy is hitting really well. See ball, hit ball, right?
Pretty simple.
In this case, they'll make it simple on defense. See ball, get ball. And that's exactly what they did.
Going back to the archaic time.
Yes, sir. Make it simple. Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there. Well, how many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. Can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Here we go with 2nd and 7.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. It's caught by Randall. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They get the completed pass, but still have more to go here on 3rd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Ryan Matthews on 3rd down. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Reuben Randall, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put him through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Back to throw. Stafford. Jeremy Curley, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. And Tate's got it. And the broken tackle helps lead to a 1st down gain. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that 1st down pass.
We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. Another pistol look here. On 1st down, Stafford here. Ebron caught left side. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive here, 3rd and 4.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Okay, so thought they might go for it here, down late. Instead, they trot out the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Getting ready to go again, Ryan Matthews works his way back onto the field. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Wentz now on first down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's brought down. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Now Wentz. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out now come the Lions. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Roberts with it over the middle. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Now Stafford. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Throwing again is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And Tate's got it. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it. And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Stephen Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And out now come the Eagles. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Here's Wentz to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on 2nd down. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line's going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs.
Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. His pass caught at the 4. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They come out here in the eye. It's a toss right. Ryan Matthews. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Ryan Matthews, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And his kick is good. So a little icing on the cake there before the clock hits all zeros.
What a way to finish things off. Exactly what you want. Not much time and a touchdown to put things away.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for Philadelphia, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for Detroit, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Ford Field.